first came here, it was not easy at all for me. I had a hard time grasping the new ideas that were taught daily. My old school didn't prepare me for the advanced world of community prep. Today, I will be talking about my journey from sixth grade to eighth grade. So, when I first came to community prep, I liked the school's culture. Everyone's friendly at the school. One of the things I noticed when I started attending the school is a sense of community. I also liked how there are small classes. In my previous school, there were about 30 kids in the classrooms, so it was always loud, and the teachers weren't able to focus on the kids individually when they needed help. So now this meant that I would get more help when I needed it, and I needed that a lot in my first year. So I was in Miss Bench's homeroom in sixth grade, and I had a great experience in that class. I learned a lot of things in that class, and my favorite subject was history. We learned about ancient Egypt, and we read a book about the adventures of Ulysses, a Greek soldier. It was cool to read about him. In history, we would have a review, and somebody got a question right. We would shoot a small ball to a hoop, and we would get extra points. And it was a good way of studying for me. It really helped me on the test. I didn't understand the math here when I came here. We had accelerated math, the connected math, and it was really confusing to me. So I will start getting help for math with the math teacher, Miss Kiam, and this really helped a lot because when I didn't understand something, when I stayed at the school, when I needed help with my homework, I could just ask Miss Kiam because she would be sitting right there at her desk. So, and another person that helped me in the school was Miss Guy, and she's not in school right now. But she helped me too with math on Tuesdays, I think, during our extra period that we had. So I had double the help, and I'm very thankful for that. And we had to get 50 objectives for each trimester, so I was always working hard to achieve those objectives. And I was happy when I was able to get all of the objectives by the end of the year. We went on some cool field trips in sixth grade. I don't even think we went on any field trips in fifth grade. But we went to the Farm Institute, and like you heard from all the other people that went to the Farm Institute with me too, we learned how to do farm work and stuff like that, did chores around and stuff around the farm, and this made me like the school even more because of the field trips and all the cool things we did, the cool activities we did. So in seventh grade, I still had trouble with math. It was hard and easy at some points because we would go over things that we already knew. So when we got to that part, it would be easy to do good on all those homeworks and stuff like that. And we did a lot of cool things. Seventh grade too. Science class, we had to do labs. I remember during one lab we had to observe pill bugs. They were like these little pills. We had to observe them and stuff. So, and we also had a project where we had to create a model of the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Right, well, I will show you guys what my project looked like, but it was made out of Jello, so I had to throw it away. It was all sticky, it was all messed, so I had to throw it away. It was great and stuff. So we also went to the Boston Museum of Science to view the exhibits, and it wasn't my first time going there, so I knew what it's at, a whole bunch of science stuff. So we looked at information on different types of animals around the room. It was a big room with a whole bunch of different types of animals, birds, bears, moose, deer, and in one area of the museum, there was this part where we could go on a wall and it would capture whatever pose we were doing on the wall. And another exhibit, they had sort of like a playground to test our physical skills. And there was also a room that showed you how a baby looks in a mother's stomach over time. Yeah. And the coolest thing we did at the museum was watching a show where they made music with electricity. It was very, very loud. And we also went to a place called Farm School. It's basically the same thing as Farm Institute. I had a better experience there as a Farm Institute. And we did a lot of farm work, but it was really fun. During breaks, we got to play basketball and stuff like that outside, and participate in activities on the farm, just on the farm and look around. And yeah, that's I loved 7th grade because of all the cool stuff we did with my friends and stuff like that. And this year in 8th grade, It's been a really good year. I got a lot better at math. Well, when I needed help, I still asked questions. I got help after school. Miss Ryan, the math teacher, and it was more laid back because it was our senior year, so it was more easier for us because we already learned a lot of stuff we did. So history in 8th grade was hard. Like we learned a whole bunch of stuff. Our history teacher is not a joke. Like when he tells you to study for a test, you better study or you're going to fail. So after I failed the first test, so I had to study a lot more so that I wouldn't fail. And after that, I passed all the rest of the tests. And I like the projects we did in history too. One project we made advertisements and stuff like that, like advertisements from. Oh yeah, from 20s. And did a magazine, yeah. And we made articles for the magazine too about like topics and that happened during the 20s. And I remember one article I did, it was about this group of women called flappers. They were like rebellious women, and at the time that wasn't like accepted among people. It was like a cool thing to research about. And so yeah, I like the books we read in language arts too. We read a book called Animal Farm, Pigman, and Monster. Animal Farm was about, like, it was basically a whole bunch of animals, and they were like kind of like humans. Like they ended up learning how to talk, and like the pigs were in charge in the farm. And it was like a really cool book. It was like something different. And we read The Pigman. The Pigman was about like a boy and a girl, and they called this man, and like they basically like wanted to get money from him, and they ended up like building a good relationship with the man, and he was a very lonely man, and they ended up hanging out with him for a long time and stuff. And then we also read a book called Monster. It was about this kid that he was arrested for a crime he didn't do, and he had to be put on trial. And he basically wrote during his time in prison. He wrote about his experience, like for all the trials and stuff like that. When I first came to community prep, it was hard for me. I was able to overcome my hardships by staying after school to get help. 7th grade was a better and fun grade for me, and it was a little bit easier than 6th. The year flew by in 8th grade, and I did a lot better than any other grade I was in, and I'm happy that I made it this far because I thought of giving up, but my mom and my teachers encouraged me to keep on going on. And for 9th grade, I am attending classical high school. I was excited when I found out I was going there. That's where my mom went, and that's where a lot of people went. And they really ended up being like successful in life. Like my godfather went there and he's real successful now, and the mayor went there too. And I'm gonna use all the topics that I learned in community prep to help me in classical. I'm gonna remember not to sing a math class because Ryan told me. And the science teacher, she got Venegas telling us that it's all science. And I want to thank everyone here for listening to my speech. I want to thank all the teachers who did, Mr. Green, Ms. Ryan, and all the other teachers that helped me get over these rough years in community prep. And I'm going to play parts of my song. Don't laugh, okay? It's kind of funny. Don't sing it, don't sing it.
Oh, okay.
Don't laugh.
Yeah, about to get it. Yeah, about to get it. Yeah, about to get it. But you really don't win it up. About to get it. Yeah, about to get it. Yeah, about to get it. Got your will and I'm winning. Come on. Yeah.
What is that? I don't know what he's doing.
See, that's what I need. I'm worried, but it's time to change it.
Taking after school so I could do what I had to do. They didn't want to be no fool. Nah, I couldn't be no fool, so I had to go get it. Yeah, had to go get it. Yup.
Yeah, about to get.
Yeah, field trips to cool, farm school, and museum of science. I was trying to get good grades a day. Miss their suits help me with math. Listen, it was exciting to be somewhere where everybody was accepted. Can be any color and be accepted and they tested me to see if I could do it. I got it, they didn't be foolish, so I finished 7th grade on a good run. Then on my last 75% of my task is completed. Energy not depleted, and I'm seated in the fast start, and I speeded to my goal. Yeah, so I can graduate and get more on my task completed. Yeah.
Yeah, about to get it.
I'm new all and I see me so fresh shit can't go smooth baby. Yeah, I'm in beat and today I am 90. Happy to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna get it on
I'm about to get it. Yeah, I'm about to get it.
And a song I talked about my journey to 6th grade stuff to 8th grade. So yeah.
Well, in classical, you better go get it.
I am going to get it in classical.
Get what?
And, yeah, I don't know.